Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. Politics straight away this morning. You can imagine we won't be doing anything else. But we're going across to Enugu State and look at what the political climate is like there. In fact, we're talking about the Enugu State governorship battle. Now, people say, you know, Enugu is a PDP state. And indeed it is, and the candidate there, the PDP candidate in Enugu State is Mr. Peter Mba with an H. And the interesting thing here is that APC, if you want the opposition, an opposition party in Enugu State, have just pledged that they indeed will be supporting the candidature of Mr. Peter Mba to become governor in Enugu State. Well, I have someone here to talk to me governorship battle, and that's in the person of Mr. Nana Ogbodo. He's a PDP chieftain and is the media director, Peter Mba Campaign Organization in Enugu State. A fine morning to you, Mr. Mba.
Good morning, my dear friend.
Thank you very much.
How is Lagos?
Very well, thank you. My name is Yori Folani. It's a pleasure to have you this morning. Okay, now, first of all, well, for those who are hearing about this for the first time, talk about that, because it's pretty significant when an opposition party says that, look, without prejudice to the fact that we know who our presidential candidate is, when it comes to the governorship, even if he is in an opposition party, we will be supporting him. Tell me about that and how we arrived here.
Well, for anybody who has not had the full knowledge of the dynamics of politics in Enugu State might find that interesting. It is nonetheless quite symbolic, but I must tell you that for quite some time, the governor of Enugu State created a semblance of politics which I prefer to describe as political ecumenism. It's such politics that has been able to bring every person together, irrespective of the party you belong to. Howbeit, it is also instructive that a party like APC would openly come and associate with PDP in their choice of a candidate. It also speaks about the candidate we have. When you do a great thing, you don't necessarily make some big noise. Peter Mba is a brand. It's a brand that Nigeria even needs. And we are privileged in Enugu to have him as our candidate. And it was not surprising to us that APC as a party came there to underscore that, yes, we may differ on some areas, but for this particular purpose, we are united because it is service to our dear state. They would have looked at all the credentials and antecedents of other candidates, and they couldn't but agree with us that Enugu this time around needs a new vista. Enugu is like a market that has matured, and it can only grow incrementally. And somebody has a knack for creativity. Somebody has a knack for innovative exercise. And he has come to say, we are going to go beyond what we have known in Enugu before, which is derisively described sometimes as a civil service state. I think we have come to that stage where we only grow incrementally. Now we want a quantum growth. Therefore, there is going to be a disruptive innovation. And Enugu people are so attuned to that mantra. And I'm not surprised that APC and even indeed other parties came to associate with us.
And the interesting thing here, I mean, as you said, APC and other parties. The other thing is that there is no decamping, so to speak. It's like your principal, Mr. Peter, one has to be careful now, not Peter Obi, Peter Mba, is of APC. He's of APC stock. And he remains of APC stock. But, I beg your pardon, he's of PDP stock. He's of PDP stock and remains of PDP stock, but APC will help him to achieve his aim. Now tell me, you just indicated that the people of Enugu are not necessarily surprised by those to talk about the neophyte to politics, a very experienced person. Give me an overview of the gentleman.
Peter is not new to Enugu people. It's not new because by his track record, Enugu people have come to know him with deep affection. Don't forget, he once served as the chief of staff in Enugu State. But it is not indeed only that. He has been able to touch lives. He has been able to show us that we are differently blessed and we are differently endowed. And he's a serial entrepreneur. He's somebody who has proven himself both in the public sector and in the private sector. In the public sector, he got to the height of being the commissioner for finance, even being the chief of staff to the governor there. So he transited from there to his own private business, and he made good success out of it. From nothingness, he was able to create a behemoth in Pinnacle Oil. And those of us who know the trajectory of all such things feel somehow a pride in associating with him. As a matter of fact, we are grateful that he accepted to serve his state now. He's somebody who knows what it means. For instance, let me take it from our tagline, the tagline of his campaign organization. Mm-hmm. He says, tomorrow is here. That thing says a lot about the urgency of the Nigerian situation. But from a positive perspective, it is a summation of our hopes and aspirations. It is indeed a rallying call to action. What it means, therefore, is that in the circumstance of resource control, how does a state like Enugu move? Enugu has thrived so much on the throes of allocation from the federation account. It is a civil service state, which makes excitement in the economy only when civil servants are paid. And we are saying, if we talk about resource control, some people are still thinking that it's something distant to come. But when we talk about oil theft and the rest of it, it is just a simple euphemism for resource control. And we are now saying, in the inevitability of resource control, how does a state like Enugu fare? And we found somebody who has a solution to it in Dr. Pitamba. Pitamba been able to translate vision into action in the private business. And they will now say, please come and do it. And he has been able to situate our situation. He tells us that Enugu has everything going for us. Enugu has location. Enugu has history. Enugu has natural resources. Enugu has human resources. And most of these things had all this while laid dormant, perhaps, maybe due to a paralysis of the will. And he's saying, we have come here now to stimulate growth where the private sector can come and drive our development. I have done it in the public sector. I have done it in the private sector. I know the nuances and foibles of the two, and I'm able to combine it to bring development to Enugu State. That is indeed the cause of the excitement we have in his candidature.
Of course, you know, it's not as if it's going to be a walkover because your party is not the only person interested in the office. How would you evaluate the strength of the opposition, and also maybe comment on the boost that this APC endorsement might have conferred on that project?
Well, that endorsement is great in many respects. It was not only to endorse Pitamba as our candidate, it was also for us to have opportunity to say thank you to the kindness of that priest in government. That is His Excellency Governor Ifeanyi. It's to express our gratitude for the fidelity of the East Senatorial Zone. We are concerned about the debate about whether the rotational template, which has guided us since 1999, would have to continue. Some believe that it has gone around the 3 senatorial zones. Therefore, it should start from where it stopped. Some say it has gone around and it could start from any other way. But the people of Enugu East Senatorial Zone reason that we appreciate the developmental stride we have made because of the peace that rotation has been able to underscore in Enugu. We appreciate the friendship we have been able to build because there is hardly any rancor. And then we pleaded with him and said, please, in spite of all the pressure you suffer, kindly know that this thing is now the turn of Enugu East to present their candidate. And indeed, he did it. And many things really excite me about his persona. Dr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi governs with virtues that best exemplify that of a perfect leader. He believes in causes larger than himself. He's a master of the science of human relationship because he has humility guiding him. And he was able to translate this, our dream, into action by granting us this thing. And the event of Saturday was also, of Friday was also meant to say thank you for the kindness of being fidel to his promise. Then, coming to what impact it has to opposition.
Yes.
I will tell you, well, in one respect, opposition is a beautiful thing in politics, and indeed, democracy cannot survive without opposition. But opposition in Enugu is just, blowing in the wind. One, when we say we shall have a chance and the right to seek to contest, many people had contested initially from any other party, but we know when we say we have zoned this thing and the mainstream people believe in it, others are just exercising their rights in constitution, that the constitution grants them. It is not that it has any effect. But even most importantly, we do not even see these people as opposition. And that is why we want to say, if you want to talk about opposition, let us talk about the candidates and their credentials, because there is hardly any opposition. Most of them are just members of PDP until after the primaries. And they literally confuse opportunism for opportunity. And we know that they're not going anywhere. So singularly speaking, opposition is just symbolic, and it doesn't really bother us so much as we pray that we have a vibrant opposition in Enugu State.
Now, one of the things that Mr. Peter Mba has sort of asserted will be the lot of Enugu people, should he indeed emerge victorious. He's talked about, well, something that's similar to what APC, I imagine all the political parties will, of course, there will be one aspect or the other that is common to all of them. After all, it's politics is for the service and benefit of the people. And that's socio-economic transformation that has been promised by Mr. Peter Mba. Give me the background to that. I mean, first of all, there's work going on now, but he's talking about transformation. And I noticed that he was very, very well received by elders, traditional rulers at the ceremony that you spoke about, even Governor of Old Anambra State, Excellency Jim Nwobodo, and all notable names in the place. They were all there singing his praises and he's a relatively young man to those kind of people. But they're saying that we believe in him, that he will do a good job. Talk to me about the socio-economic transformation, which I said is not dissimilar from what APC, which is not the same as PDP, is offering.
Well, I must say that Enugu East Senatorial Zone, we must accept, is peculiarly endowed with bright minds, bright individuals with so much cleverness. However, in every country, we do not in any way diminish their profile and credentials. But what we are saying is that in every circumstance, you have to distill their comparative advantages and the advisors, not really driving the distance, because the time we live in calls for some deeper reflection. It calls for some deeper articulation of issues beyond the normal. It's a very perilous time. We are still talking about economy as it is today. In the next few months, we shall be buying fuel maybe beyond 500. And we're looking at who is that person who is going to be creative enough to disrupt what we have and bring a new template that can guide us. Yes, other candidates may have their own qualities, but in this circumstance, it's not everybody that will win. It is the best that we have chosen. And we have chosen him based on his track record, based on his persona. He's a man with whom Enugu East have said we are well pleased. He's a man who employs silent dignity to win what all the noise do not win. You may not see him making noise. You may not see him grandstanding. He diligently goes about his way, but within this thing is a man who is created to change Nigeria. And let us start from Enugu State. And we're excited that we have him, and he has accepted to be our candidate.
Okay.
Given the people that have endorsed him,
yes,
you know the profile of somebody like Jim Wobodo, the first governor of Enugu, of the old Anambra State, yes, a former senator, a former minister. In fact, a man who has the charisma to turn around the Enugu State, but an elder statesman who now knows that it is better for us to think about the future, not the prebendalism of the present, as it may be. Or is it Senator Ken Nnaman? He was able to transcend party divisions and party dichotomies and say, look, we may belong to different political, with our candidates these days in the state rendered.
Okay, one moment. I beg your pardon. One moment, Mr. Ogbodo. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. One moment, because a caller has been waiting to contribute to the program. Good morning to you, Mr. George in Lagos.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and greetings to your guest.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, I think this political decision that APC has made is a step in the right direction. Because if you look at the dynamics, I don't see the possibility of APC winning gubernatorial election in Enugu State as things stand now. So what they need to do is to concentrate on where they can get the best at giving something that they know they cannot get. For example, I know that the Enugu State governor is among the G5 governors of the PDP, and that the presidential candidate of the PDP is unlikely to receive his support. So APC might as well capitalize on this gesture to get more votes for the presidential candidate of the APC, because I don't see APC winning the gubernatorial election in that state as things stand today. The APC as a party should do the same thing in Rivers, I will recommend. It would be a waste of time and resources to think that they can win the gubernatorial election in Rivers State, where Wike is standing, with all what Wike has done in that state. And in this, Uncle Yori, again, the APC as a party in Rivers is in Taka. The key people that should have kept the party together for more than 6 years, they can't even see eye to eye. So they should do the same thing in Rivers and stop wasting money in Rivers. That's what is just a suggestion.
Thank you very much, Mr. George, calling in with that contribution. Mr. Ogbodo, you heard that. Any comments?
Well, I'm glad he knows that in Enugu State, it is really just a misnomer to categorize some people as opposition. But we are quite good, though, to address them as Your Excellency after they have done their bit. Because sometimes there are certain things that persuade people in political contests. Some of them just want to exercise the rights conferred on them by the Constitution. Some want to be addressed as His Excellency. Some who want to contest for Senate already begin to bear this thing as a distinguished senator. We joke with it and we can play with it, but in Enugu State, it is beautifully, clearly defined by the caller that it is impossible for APC to expect any miracle in Enugu. Not in the face that it has come to be that even the crucial leaders of the party have come to say, we may differ in political platforms, but this candidate will stand by him. We know what he can do. So I agree with the caller.
But it needs to be said, just as that caller, Mr. George in Lagos, had said that he even sees a similar situation, for example, in Rivers State. He was being very pragmatic about it, and he feels that APC itself is being quite pragmatic about the situation here. But there is no doubt that when it comes to, at least in Enugu, you know, because your governor, your sitting governor is of the G5, I imagine that the understanding is that when that time comes, people know where to put their vote. That in that case, they'll be voting for the APC presidential candidate. Is that a safe conclusion?
I wouldn't subscribe essentially to that, in the sense that what we play in Nigeria is partisan politics, and it's based on parties. And D5 might exist, but it's a contestation of interest. I'm sure that PDP is doing everything to who feel that they have not been listened to. As we wait for that, 24 hours is enough in politics.
Indeed.
And I'm sure PDP, which we subscribe to, will be able to come after this thing. I've always believed that in life and in every institution, there may not be any man who is so loved by God that nature might not place a banana peel on his path.
Okay, I beg your pardon. Let me bring in Chris. Chris is on the line from Enugu. Good morning, Chris.
Hello, I'm with you, Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in. Go ahead, please.
On television, your guest is still speaking. I'm watching my television. Okay, it's true now. Okay, let me go ahead. Hello.
Good morning, Chris. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay. You know my fears now. I hope the decision of the APC candidate is subscribed to by other members of the APC. Hello?
I can hear you.
My fear is that the decision of the APC governorship candidate may not carry along the generality of members in the APC in Enugu State. And then I remember that name, the name of the APC candidate is one Mr. Uchenna. Are you with me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And I remember one Uchenna, that was in 1999, who won election to the National Assembly. That is Nigerian citizen. Overnight, he just surrendered his seat and said he's inviting Jim Wobodo from another party to take over his seat. So I'm suspicious of their character called Uchenna. You understand?
Oh, I hear you.
With me?
I hear you.
My home state is not Enugu. My home state is Anambra. You understand? So why would the same Uchenna, who in 1999 won election into the Senate, and then unilaterally his seat to Jim Wobodo, and then again a major opposition party in the state, and then the party in power at the federal level, he suddenly is subscribing to the candidacy of the PDP person. You understand? So
maybe that's what they call strategy in politics. But let's hear from Mr. Ogbodo. Thank you very much for calling in, Chris. Maybe just before we go on break, would you like to briefly touch on his, assumption, apprehension, suspicion, call it what you will?
Well, I may not want to talk so much about his thesis because somehow it is not the true position. I must put it on record that it's not the true position that he was expressing. The candidate still runs that he's running. But you see, he may be a priest without congregation. If somebody is still running, and those who ought to be championing his listening are saying, we are now confident that we have found a man who will deliver Enugu. I don't see any reason anybody making noise about whether he continues to say he's running or not. But let it be on record that he has not abandoned his pursuit. He's still pursuing it. But all I know is that nobody can divorce himself from his environment and still retain his identity. In the circumstance of those who ought to drive his campaign, saying, young man, come back. Let us be pragmatic about what we are doing. There's no need wasting your money because Enugu is PDP and PDP is Enugu. But even more interestingly, we have looked at the candidates. This is what they said. The leadership of APC that came, what they said is not that the party has abandoned their status as party. What they are saying is that we have been able to look at the credentials of the candidates and we find that of Dr. Peter Mbah so ennobling that we have to really come together to promote it.
All right then. I'll take a break here. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back and we'll continue this conversation as well as taking your calls.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I am sure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Every week, Green Angle, in partnership with affecting Nigeria's amazing biodiversity, from climate change, air pollution, and wildlife conservation. We will be traveling across Nigeria to give you on-the-ground report of the issues affecting our environment. It airs every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting, as the arts are meant to be.
Okay, welcome back. And this morning, we're talking about the governorship candidate in Enugu State. He's Peter Ndubuisi Mba. He's a maritime lawyer and financial analyst. He's CEO of Pinnacle Oil and Gas. And he is of the PDP. And we're talking about him this morning with Mr. Nana Ogbodo, PDP chieftain and media director, Peter Mba Campaign Organization in Enugu State. However, we have before we continue, we have a guest on the line, a viewer on the line. Nnamani from Enugu. Yes. Good morning to you, sir.
Oh, good morning. First of all, I want to commend TVC for the work they're doing. You guys are doing very great.
Thank you.
I also want to commend the guest on the studio, Chief Nana Ogbodo. You see, Nana Ogbodo, as an intelligentsia and a super intelligentsia, has dissected the personality of Peter Ndubuisi Mba. And I want to say I stand with him because in Enugu State, every candidate in Enugu State has even known that Peter Mba is above them. Because he's only the candidate that has the manifesto. He's only the candidate that is prepared, talking to people, telling the world, this is what I can do for you. This is what I will do for you. What do you want? As someone who has established a good business in the private sector, conquering the oil and gas sector, downstream sector, he has every capacity, the tenacity to govern Enugu State. And this is the kind of leader we want in the 21st century. This is the kind of leader that Enugu State wants, because Enugu State is the capital of the southeastern region. We will not elect anyhow person. Those who are trying to come to through the power of through the lion building, through the back doors, through Supreme Court judgment, we in the Enugu are saying that our eyes are open, and we know, and we want Dr. Peter Ndubi Simba, and in him we stand, and we will continue to support him till he gets to the Lion Building, because there is nobody, I have never seen any leader who has a good blueprint like Dr. Peter Ndubi Simba, and on him we stand.
Just as you're speaking there, Mr. Ndamani, just as you're speaking there, what do you think about the arrangement, so to speak, of an opposition party identifying with your candidate and, that this is a task that must be done?
Let me tell you something. You see, I appreciate the fact that the democracy of Nigeria is growing, very, very growing bigly, and we are getting experience as day goes, because the APC people who are endorsing Peter Mba have seen that the candidate has nothing to offer. Sorry, I'm on air, but I have to say this.
I'm not sure. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The candidate is empty. It's empty. He doesn't have anything to offer. Someone that we asked, Enugu have asked him, bring your manifesto. We want to see what you can offer. He said he wants to construct a radio station in all the communities in Enugu State. Please, is that the kind of person we want as a governor? Is that kind of person we want as a governor? We don't need such kind of person as a governor. Someone that said he wants to construct a radio station in all the communities. Someone that said that he's going to bring my drug industry in Enugu State. So this is something, he doesn't have a blueprint. So I'm asking, bring out your blueprint. Let us judge this blueprint side by side with the people candidate. And he has no blueprint. So the people from APC, the APC chieftain, Dr. Ken Naman, Dr. Ben Woye, all of them have seen that. You see, we want Enugu State to prosper. We want a progressive Enugu State. We cannot continue to say we will stand by someone in our party, someone that we know cannot deliver the people, someone that we know is empty, someone that we know doesn't have anything to offer. We said no. We have to come back. We have to sit down. We have to look at the credibility of the candidate. Someone who is blemished, someone who has light, someone who has the tenacity, someone who can deliver, someone who has the principles and the characteristics of a modern day leadership. That is Dr. Peter Ndubi Simba. And they say this is someone we are going to stand with. So I am with them. I am with Ben Woye. I'm with the Chief Ken Naman, the former Senate President. You see that someone who is a former Senate President, he has seen it all. So he saw something, Dr. Peter Ndubi Simba, and he said, on Peter Ndubi Simba, we stand. On this rock, we stand. Every other rock, every other ground are thinking stand. So I'm with them 100%.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much for calling in. As I said, we're talking with Nana Ogbodo, PDP chieftain, and we're talking about his principle for this project, Mr. Peter Mba. Mr. Peter Mba, as they, is relatively speaking a young man. In 2 days, it'll be his birthday. Having been born on the 17th of March, not 2 days' time, but next month. You know what I mean. 17th of March. What I'm saying here is that he's a new generation person. That also must be appealing to a lot of people who just want accomplished people to, carry the fort for them. I see here that among his alma mater, he was at the University of Navarra, University of Oxford, Lagos State University, Lagos Business School. So, as I said, in case you were looking for anything, one of the biggest planks, so to speak, in his arsenal would be his CEO of Pinnacle Oil and Gas. So this is a very well-accomplished person, and I'm sure that must be something that the people of Enugu relate to. And the gentleman who just finished speaking, you could see how exuberant he was speaking about Peter Mba.
Yeah. If you check very well, that young man might even belong to the APC family. It goes to underscore the acceptance of Peter Mba beyond party lines. The leadership of APC said, look, Enugu has come to a stage that we must look at our governor beyond party definition. And I've also told you that we have what prevails in Enugu, political ecumenism. It's that kind of politics that accommodates everybody. It's that kind of politics that allows you to swing your arms as much as we can. It will allow us the pleasure to protect our noses. It's that kind of politics that makes us realize that we are first brothers before we became politicians. It's that kind of politics that makes us believe that beyond all the political chicanery, what matters most is how is Enugu developed. And Peter Mba, if you watch his vision and his mission is that he's going to run a people-focused government that will make Enugu the preferred destination for investment and living. And then that his vision is to grow Enugu's GDP from what it is now, a paltry $4.4 billion, to above $30 billion in the next 8 years. What can be more exciting? For the people who may not understand the esoteric language of GDP, he also goes to tell you that I'm going to construct 10,000 kilometers of roads in Enugu. And some people, it's beyond their ken to decode. Peter Mba promises us a lot of things. His presence is a transformative presence in Enugu, and it goes beyond party definition. We are proud to have him as our candidate and indeed our next governor by the grace of God.
Okay. Now tell me about preparations towards the election, which, as you know, is coming after the presidential election. In terms of canvassing your candidate in Enugu, well, you've spoken so highly, so well of him, even someone has phoned in, and that one will probably be representing many. But okay, how much more work is there to be done? Because I don't imagine you want to sort of take things for granted. But maybe before you go there, let me bring in Ifeanyi, who has called in from Enugu and wants to contribute as well. Good morning, Mr. Ifeanyi.
Yeah, good morning, Yori.
Good morning.
And good morning, the guests on the studio.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Ifeanyi.
Okay. Are you hearing me, sir?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. Please, I can say the conversation. The other man is talking, and let me just quickly tell you this thing. Enugu, maybe Enugu is totally for labor. Is only the candidate and a businessman. I'm a businessman in the market. I want to tell you categorically, go to every villages in Enugu here. Ask anybody. If you're talking about PDP, they will tell you what PDP offer Enugu. Enugu state, if you come to Enugu, the present governor, Uguay, he didn't perform now. Ask anybody.
So you are saying Enugu is labor?
Enugu is totally labor.
And who is the candidate of labor in Enugu?
Chijoke Edoga.
Okay. And you feel that he has a better chance in spite of the forces that have joined?
See, let me tell you. Let me quickly tell you this thing. This election will shock even Nana Obodo that is in the studio. Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
It will shock everybody. Maybe if you go to the villages here in Enugu, only the big force in Enugu as I'm talking to you now is level. In fact, I don't know if APC forgot about APC. But nobody is talking about APC. Even G5 governors, as I'm talking to, can't even control the youth. The people of Enugu are determined this election.
But as you know, the candidate of Peter Mba is also a youthful candidate. But, I'm just adding that. So whatever it is that you think you are appealing to, he can also appeal to it, I would guess, if you agree.
Well,
Yes, please go ahead.
You asked me a question before.
Yes, and yes. Please go back to those questions.
I will respond to that question, but in responding to the caller, emotions are free, but fasts are sacred. Dreams could come in many ways, but sometimes people wake up to know that delirious experience they had in the dream is just a dream as it is. Let me leave it that way. But to go back to your question, in spite of our popularity, in spite of our wide acceptance, in spite of all the riches we have, I must tell you that we are not complacent. Not complacent, not in the sense that we are threatened by any so-called opposition, but we are going to let people know what is already on the threshold of coming to Enugu State. Therefore, our structure has embarked on town hall meetings, going from one development center to the other in the 68 development centers. And we go there because Peter Mbas's thing is that, look, you may be sitting on top of treasure that is not known to you. Secondly, we go there to feel the pulse of the people. It is so hilarious and very interesting to see what people need in the West and North may not be what people need in Okunano. And what people need in Ogo may not be what people need in Ozowan. And this thing has exposed us to the experiences that will guide us in the governance of the state. So we are proceeding very diligently and very effectively. Okay. And we have gained a lot of experience by the interface we have had with the masses.
Let me bring in another caller. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. Ada in Jos. Good morning to you.
Ada calling from Jos Batu State. I can't talk much. I can see you're running out of time, Mr. Yuri. Your guest there, I say good morning to you. Mr. Yuri, let me tell you something. Enugu, as far as I'm concerned, Enugu has never been known to be involved in violent electoral process, So I hope this caption of Enugu State governorship battle, I don't know, you journalists, you know how to write your captions. I hope it's a battle without bloodshed. All I want to say here is that let people be. Let them allow a credible, electoral process, and then let the right person emerge, So my happiness is that with the introduction of these verse, all these deep pockets politicians who think they can buy over everybody, buy over everything, it's not going to be a business as usual. Let them get that into their head. I'm not after whether it's Labour Party that's going to win or whether it's APC or APDP, but all I'm saying is that let there be a credible process and let the right person emerge. When the right person emerges, we'll take back this country. We'll have a new Nigeria. We are tired and sick. The two dominant parties, they are the same. I can't tell the difference between them. It's just like somebody trying to distinguish between butter and margarine, but there's a difference there anyway.
Okay. I'm happy you brought that back. There is a difference between butter and margarine.
Yes, there is a difference, but people find it difficult to differentiate it.
Okay.
And that is the way APC and PDP is.
Okay, Ada, thank you very much for calling in, Ada. A lot of people won't agree with you, Ada, but of course, we will defend to the death your right to say it the way you said it. That's your personal take. But a lot of people in APC will not agree with you that they are the same as PDP, and a lot of people in PDP will not agree with you that they are the same as APC. And I'm sure I'm saying it right for you too, Mr. Nana Ogodo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank God that Ada was able to situate that Enugu has been a peaceful state. It is even more so now that we have a man that was able to bind all the old wounds and reconcile the state. Governor Buhari is a man of peace who has resisted the violence of politics. He has not allowed himself to be overwhelmed by the tantrums of some people who are resistant to the reality of justice. It is not lost on us that in every situation, one takes a very credible decision. There will always be some reactionaries. But Enugu is a very peaceful state, and it will remain peaceful. Even more so when it is just essentially that all the people who are pretending to be opposition, we regard them as prodigal sons. Some of them contested the election to be nominated as PDP candidates, and they failed. And instead of working to promote the candidature of the person who emerged in line with even the documents they signed prior to the primaries. They took certain moves that thinking that opportunism is the same thing as opportunity. But they are free to do what they're doing. I want to assure the caller that indeed Enugu will remain peaceful, more so because Peter Mba is a man of peace, very good man of peace.
Well, that's a fine place to leave it because we've run out of time. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Nana Ogbodo, PDP chieftain and media director of Peter Mba Campaign Organization in Enugu State. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, Yomi, for the privilege of being here.
Okay. And, Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived Bauchi last night, and so the Bauchi rally is, that's what's there you go. That's the Bauchi rally for you. And the information we have is that later on in the day, around noon or so, President Buhari will be in Lagos to, flag off some key projects of the Sanwo-Olu administration. That's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.
The following is a paid presentation by